well, Jessica. That's your old one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she got seen for the first time out of the hospital, yeah, she loved it.
Nice.
John,
Good morning.
settling into the work path that he's there to stay. That was always the biggest bump to my kids, like, oh, there's a learn goal, we love them. Now they can do it.
Yeah, that was,
That's not the way it works.
Good morning, Barb. Got something at home, gotta go back.
That happens sometimes.
In here? You know me though, I've always
I know.
warmed, so I'm not
I
a
think
good one.
he thought you said on.
Oh, you said off?
For the noise level,
Oh.
not for the,
yeah.
Say.
not
Just made you
for the
feel
smoke.
better.
Yeah, I'm actually not that cold, but I didn't know how hot it would get.
Yeah.
It's got yellow and it's. It's 9 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Okay, we do have a couple of things to add to the agenda first. With second, our county engineering, we also have a road closure and we have to set a bid letting date. And then at 10 o'clock, we're gonna add this, establishing a resolution for the American Rescue Plan Fund.
Okay.
The American Rescue Plan Fund.
Resolution establishing the American Rescue Plan Fund.
That's the
With
2.6.
2.6.
I don't think that is 2.
I believe so.
I move we have the additions to the agenda, road closure, secondary roads, bid letting date, and what's the bid letting date for?
We don't know yet. That we really don't.
We don't, okay.
Need to- Just the
Subtract
two
the bid letting,
resolutions.
just the road closing and
And the
the.
resolution for American Rescue Fund
I'll second.
establishment.
Motion by Dennis, second by Dan to add those two things to the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Next on the agenda, approval of the previous minutes.
I would move to minutes from May 18th.
Support.
Motion by Dennis, second by Sherry to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
flexible recovery zone.
Okay, Jared. You're up.
All right, good morning, everyone. Jared Johnson with Bryan County EMA. Going to go through some COVID-19 updates and discuss the current phase that we're in at the courthouse. Just kind of going over some data over the last week. Total positive tests is in the county is 2,150. Outcome analysis of deaths is 56. Positivity percentage is 4%. It was 1% for a couple days, but us and the neighboring counties have spiked slightly again, so we're going up 3% over the last day. So it is still around. But we, the overall the positive percentage has been less than 5% for quite a while, which is good, and hopefully it keeps on staying low. I know there's a lot of places that with graduations and just more summer activities starting to happen. It'll be interesting to see how that percentage changes. For vaccinations, the vaccination numbers have changed. So individuals that have received at least one dose of a 2-dose vaccine is 375. Individuals that have completed the 2-dose series is 4,757. And then individuals completing the single dose vaccination is 447. If we use the last census, that's around like 40.6% of the population. So that's where we're at right now for vaccinations. I think public health is either greatly glory the amount of vaccine clinics that they have to have because there's been less requests. So they're kind of figuring out what the next steps are for them. For phases, the phased approach that we've been using the past year, initially the courthouse was kind of closed to visitor traffic. Then we started last summer in phase 1 with limited access, visitor access by appointments only. We had screening at that time. Then we eventually moved to phase 2 with having the east and west entrance open, mitigation strategies maintained, masks were still required at that point. I did reach out to department heads several weeks ago just to start getting some feedback over how people felt, whether it was the right time to move to phase 3. Just to kind of go over what phase 3 includes. Phase 3 would include returning to the new normal, regular operations, courthouse hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30. The west and east entrance will be open to the public. Department heads may continue some mitigation strategies to help prevent the spread of germs. So phase 3, just so everyone understands phase 3, it would be removing the mask requirement. Masks would still be recommended for individuals. We did get an update from Rachel from Florida last week. The court is still requiring masks for individuals that are not fully vaccinated, but they did make a change. If there's people going to court that are fully vaccinated, they don't have to wear a mask, but not fully vaccinated, it's still a request for them to wear a mask. Most of the majority of the departments I spoke to were okay with moving to phase 3. But we still have staff that are concerned about COVID. They don't want to get COVID. There's a lot of people that I think haven't been exposed to COVID yet, which is good because of the mitigation measures that people have been doing. But COVID is still around, so even if you move to phase 3, I would still highly encourage social distancing as much as possible to increase cleaning. And the courthouse will still have lots of cleaning supply that we can use. That's kind of some of the discussion. For maintaining safe behavioral practices, social distancing, washing of hands, I'm hoping this last year is also kind of taught individuals, if you're sick, instead of getting other people sick, you can stay home and recover. That would be great because for some it does impact people greater than others. So, and then like I mentioned, the cleaning supplies, we still have those. I did also want to make note, there are some departments that do like the screens that they have and would maybe like to see a more permanent structure there where it's easier to see paperwork that's being slid underneath. And I don't know if that's something that we can potentially use as safety funds or general funds or some of these new funds. But that's something that's been brought up several times by departments where they would like to see that as a permanent structure. So, yeah, I'm open to discussion. If you guys have questions for me.
What do you think? Is it time?
I think a lot of people are ready to move on. There is still COVID around, we still have new cases, but I'm hoping these people, watch it, be careful.
I just look at the population in general, anybody else that, tends to, very few places.
And I think it was the bill that the governor signed, ISAC sent out a clarification that did not include county buildings or city-owned buildings. And you still can control what's happening in the courthouse.
Yeah.
But, I think we're gonna have some staff that are gonna keep on wearing masks, which is completely fine, absolutely. And I mean, social distancing is big too. And then also when you guys want this to take place. If you want it to take place, have it take place today or weeks off Memorial Day.
I'm kind of ready to go to phase 3, I guess. I think since the CDC and the state are in the, it's very few places that I've been to that need to be licensed. I can see the barriers and that kind of stuff that are coming up, so don't put it on that.
And I do think we're gonna have them. It's great to see people wear masks. If they wish to, absolutely. We also have a big. I also agree with those time, but go on to phase 3. And for
It's hard to know what's gonna happen this summer.
I know.
And the variants that are out there, there's gonna be more traveling, people are planning trips that they couldn't do last year, so. Yeah, I just have to watch closely, so it doesn't change where, it's mainly been affecting adults, where children, it starts affecting children more close to that, it's not happening.
And locally, now, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't really heard of the variants that can be there, be here,
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of it affecting somebody who's already been that close. Or affecting those who are vaccinated.
I haven't seen any official, releases from the state. Yeah.
Usually you hear about something like that, whether that's right or wrong. Which is fortunate.
We are planning to have a department head meeting next week, just kind of go over summer project updates, see what other departments have, and I want to make sure people know we still got plenty of disposable masks if people want to use those for meetings, wipes, the hand sanitizer stand that they're going to be around for a long time. We have plenty of these guys.
And by moving to phase 3 doesn't end this discussion. We need to
By no means,
adjust.
by no means.
PPE still coming in, we got 12 pallets of PPE coming in this week. We're going to be helping get that stuff out to the nursing homes and hospitals, and a few ambulances requested stuff. So I'll be helping sort that at the distribution of it later this week.
Anybody have a time on it?
Effective immediately.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you guys over there.
Sorry, effective immediately.
I move the courthouse to phase 3 and effective at 9:13 a.m.
Support.
Motion by Dennis, second by John to support moving to phase 3 effective immediately. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carried.
Then I will be sending out the press release with those details as well, and then I'll send it out to the department, so. All right. That's it for my discussion. So
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
If you let go.
Do you want the AC on still?
You can shut it off, Derek, I think.
It's cool enough.
I'm good.
Oh, and the off button is. Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. For about 5 more minutes. In case more people want to come. I told Barb this morning, but DD5 work was completed by 6 p.m. Friday evening. So,
True.
an inspector coming out, he was either there yesterday or going out this morning. Terry will be just making sure everything is done. And then we'll be able to get that
So
corrected.
now we start the final process.
Now we can start the final process.
2018, right? Started this whole thing. I mean, the first one.
It was 5 years ago at least, because I was chair when we had that first.
Oh,
exciting-
yeah, we had.
We had that really
first
first
one
exciting meeting with.
After,
I was not on the board when the project started.
right?
So. But we might have even started a year before that.
Right.
It's like 6 years. 5 plus.
Stop spelling.
I've learned a lot through the process.
President expert. I hope that's the type you want.
I know a lot more about farm drainage.
Yeah.
Are you trying to figure out what
Yeah,
it is? Should we just go around the room and say who we are? Other than him?
That'd be great.
Okay, just go around the table. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, want me to start?
Yeah.
All right, I'm Sherry Guzman.
John Steensma.
Nancy McDowell.
Dennis Sandin.
Dan Frederickson.
I'm Barbara Rohr, the auditor.
Bring her up.
Go ahead,
You
start
ready for
her
me?
off.
Okay.
No, announce who you
I
are.
thought you were not the same. Brian Shimmer, Director, O'Brien County Conservation Board.
Zane Roberts, Park Ranger for Bryan County Conservation.
Ryan Lewis, Park Ranger, Bryan County Conservation.
Abby Parker Naturalist. Amber Weatherall, Assistant Director.
Terry Vickers.
Andy Davis.
Lisa Penn. Kathy Goodkey, Conservation Board Director.
Not director, member.
Todd Faust.
Son House.
Joe Roberts.
Zoanne Roberts. Denise Dunn.
Court Lewis.
Andrew Chapman.
list.
Yeah, you're up.
Yeah.
Jen Scher, Brian Sawyer,
Lana Wilches, Terry Kevin,
Melissa List,
Patty Bond.
Dave Stoll.
Claude Strube.
Clint Wagner, Mary Hicks,
Molly Hicks.
Joshua Hicks.
You there? Couple minutes.
Can I take a seat?
You absolutely.
Okay, I might as well be ready.
You got 1 minute.
Countdown.
It's good serious.
Well, I guess, put them on, otherwise I won't be able to see what I read. So. Are you official clock timer again?
Are you getting Brown Skull?
Actually,
I
Nancy is, but
ask Zane.
I just go around.
Bill
I was on
Creek,
the
Bill
computer.
Creek is.
I know Galma is, I was out there yesterday.
Dog Creek, I think that's the two.
Yeah.
Open.
you open,
As of last night.
and it's only Tuesday.
Alright.
They came flying in Sunday night.
Get the spot.
Yeah.
If you guys ever see anybody down the
A
hallway,
lot of them are like 8 days.
we shut the doors so we can hear, but
there's no one.
we don't want people to feel like they can't. It gets too echoey in here. All right, it's 9:20 now. Go ahead, Brian.
On? Okay. I've got a short statement. I'm going to keep it relatively short. I've been, as you know, I've been here quite a few times, budget hearings, trying to defend our positions. I've been to numerous board meetings, so on and so forth. So with that, I'll just begin. Since I became interim director and then accepted the position of director, I've tried to do the best I can. I'm sure some mistakes have been made, but I've come to realize that where we find ourselves is more than just about horses and multiple use areas. I believe ultimately it comes down to the dislike of county conservation by certain individuals. I have been called immoral, I've been lied about, I have been even told that I shouldn't have accepted this position, even though I have 14 years' experience in conservation. People have actually tried to tell me how to do my job that know nothing about conservation. County conservation has been subjected to many open records requests, which we have tried to comply with while continuing to do our jobs at the same time, even though to this date, they have now found nothing that can be used against us, or I think they would have. I have been called and texted at all hours. We have had our budget cut, and for really no reason other than it was given that I know of, other than we have been told that we have had complaints against us without knowing what the complaints were and how to fix them. I think that under these circumstances, we have continued to do a good job, but I believe it is unrealistic to think that the employees at County Conservation can continue to function in their capacity if this continues. And it has become clear to me that under normal conditions, I could do this job and do it well. However, it seems to me that no matter what I have tried to do as director, or what the employees of County Conservation have tried to do, it does not seem to make things better. I do believe it is time for someone else to lead O'Brien County Conservation, and I plan to submit my resignation today, and I wish the employees of O'Brien County Conservation the best of everything in the future. I have truly enjoyed working with them, all of them. So with that, I'm finished. And Sherry, since you're the board chair at this time.
Mine's a little longer than this, but there's a few things I want to address. Haven't been here that long, it's only been just over a year, but I've had quite a bit of things that have happened over this 1 year. So first thing I'd like to address is the fact that volunteers are needed for the nature center. I see plenty of volunteers sitting in front of me and in the room that could easily volunteer and keep the nature center open on Sundays, since it seems to be such a hot topic of interest. And I do see one individual in here that has volunteered. Everyone is so eager off the park rangers who have families and already work weekends to sit there, but these individuals are not able to volunteer themselves. If it would help, we can even come and take a picture so the spotlight will be on you for the public to see, since that's all that seems to matter anymore, since everything seems to be in the one-sided newspapers of the community. I am not aware of this being in the job description of park rangers, Yet we have set numerous Saturdays to make sure that it was open for the public to be able to come in and enjoy the facility, yet this never seems to be mentioned. The next topic I would like to address is the complaints about county conservation. It has been stated that a few of you have received altogether hundreds of complaints about county conservation, but yet nothing has been brought to the staff. Not once have we heard of what any of these complaints are. These complaints are only mentioned, again, when there is a stage and an audience at a board meeting where apparently all the heroes of the community are made. How are we to address or work on fixing these complaints if we are not aware of what they are? So now that we all are here together, county conservation, board of supervisors, newspapers, public, so you can have your stage and spotlight, I would ask for you to give us just 5 of those complaints that have been told to you. And it seems that we always have to provide names for certain people to believe us, so I would like names to be included with each complaint. I believe it would be a great starting spot to build off of and improve county conservation. And then we could possibly come to the next meeting and get 5 to 10 more, and just keep working on fixing these problems that were brought forth to better county conservation. So I do have a pen. I'm willing to write down 5 of those complaints that we can get started on if we have them.
Swipe it.
Thank you, sorry.
Today I'm gonna speak for myself, okay? I have never sought out a current or former employee to talk to. I go to department heads, and in our situation, that would be the board. And I have said things to share,
Okay.
explain things. I will not seek out an employee. I won't, I never have called anyone, former, past, or present, about issues, okay?
Good.
So I keep it between board, and I've stated that probably started 7, 8 years ago. That'll be between department head, which in this instance would be Brian in this instance, but it's a different situation versus a roads department, because you have your board. That's who we go to. That's our issue, is budget and board members.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Okay, and I get that, but you keep, every board meeting, you keep saying we get all these complaints. Obviously, we're not getting them.
Yeah.
So, as a county supervisor, I feel you guys are elected officials of the county, correct? Wouldn't you think it'd be in the best interest of the county for us to get those complaints and fix and work on them? I get you want to go to boards, but obviously we're not hearing them.
Okay. And I'm not gonna go to an individual employee and list those complaints. Because also, and I have never publicly stated, I've said I've gotten a lot of complaints, and I have, but I have never said one specific complaint or another specific complaint. I get a lot of calls. Now, since last week, I've gotten some calls again, for and against the board member replacement we have. And I respect every single one of them. I have been transparent. About a week prior to that meeting, I had an inkling that I had 2 names, and there was a third that might want to. I had no confirmation that he was going to. And the night before that meeting, I called the 2 members that I thought were the best candidates. I had great answers from both, but one stood out to me based on the 4 questions I asked, and that's the reason I voted the way I went on board member replacement. Hands down, it was the second time in my life I'd ever talked to that individual. First time I'd ever talked to the other. Well, second time she had presented to our board once on a whole other matter. So that's where it stands.
Okay. We'll just move on then. The next thing I would like to address is the fact that both Boches and Shimmer worked and tried their best, whether you want to believe it or not, to get some sort of horse riding trails in this county, because we were told it would bring so many individuals to this county. And guess what? They delivered. Is it exactly what everyone wanted? No. But I feel like most of us in here are not in high school anymore and realize life's not fair all the time. He did deliver. Nothing is ever good enough for the certain individuals that have a hatred towards the staff here. However, my point is, I worked over the weekend, where it was sunny in the mid-80s all weekend, and there was only 1 slip in the registration box. And anyone have a guess whose name it was on? I have it right here. It says Donald Trump. And it's clear for everyone to see. It was so important to get these trails done, but yet the individuals that fought and raised havoc at all these meetings against county conservation have yet to ride them themselves. And if they did ride them, then they are already not following the rules and registering as they were asked. And to go off of this, certain individuals in this group stated that they were not going to stay on the trails and ride over into DNR land adjacent to McCormick. I will inform you the DNR has been notified of this and will continue to be notified of information of this nature. So, I think this will be my final topic, but the next topic will be on a personal level of right and wrong. I do not believe any beginnings of this had to do with horses, and you will never convince me of it. The many years that this could have been addressed, they never were. It's very ironic that everything seemed to start when a certain staff member quit her job, and I say again, quit. I remember Mrs. Radke mentioning that she will not take blame for an individual making a personal life decision when Mr. Volchis left. Yet the staff of Bryan County Conservation Board are being blamed for an employee who made a personal decision to leave. Seems like we have quite the same argument stating exactly what Mrs. Radke stated, but that doesn't fit the agenda, so it doesn't get mentioned. I truly hope you all understand exactly what you're doing and what you have done. 3 young families are being driven out of this county over personal vendettas. Families that are invested in this community and have wanted to raise children here are leaving. I have 2 boys, Zayden, who was 3, Grayson, who was 1, and another child on the way due in October. I grew up in this community my whole life and just recently moved back here for this job. I look forward to raising my children here as well. However, my family is continually being driven out of this community. I have been here just over a year, as I stated earlier, and have had my job threatened by multiple individuals over things that I have not been a part of, or was not even employed full-time for. And I am going to mention Mr. Kuntz here. I've never met him, so I've never met Mr. Kuntz and I've never spoke to him. I actually had to have him pointed out to me at a board meeting because I didn't even know what he looked like. Yet he is out there making it publicly known to friends, family of his, that every conservation staff, including me, is going to be cleared out. You guys can deny it all you want. We have quite a few individuals coming to us with him stating that. I'm not saying this stuff to get your sympathy, but I hope that the individuals who are threatening my job, along with the other members of county conservation, over these personal vendettas and agendas, question themselves on right and wrong, because what is happening with county conservation right now is wrong and pathetic. It is not realistic to think that the staff of Bryan County Conservation can continue working to their fullest capacity in this hostile work environment that has been created by you certain individuals. I hope that the right thing can be done in this cancel culture of county conservation will be finished so the parks and recreation areas can grow, improve, and provide a fun and adventurous way for individuals of all ages to get outdoors. Thank you for your time today.
Mine's not as long as Zane's, but I'm also gonna say on the complaint end, we haven't heard, we have nothing but good things from campers, users of the park. It's hard to fix something if you don't know what's broken. We're being treated like crap due to decisions not even made by us. They were made by legal actions of the county attorney. And also, I don't agree with the comment made about us earning an employee back. Don't know what we did to lose one in the first place. Makes it pretty hard to earn an employee back that way. I'm hearing multiple reports of people wanting all new faces in conservation, including the board. It's hard to work when you feel like you have a bullseye on yourself. Staff has done a lot for this county and we're not recognized for it. We make the parks look good so everyone can enjoy the parks and want them to continue to look great. County parks are visited by thousands of people and we hear nothing but good things coming from us park users. And the total opposite from supervisors about getting complaints. This spring we're working on the grain bins and we had a representative of Senator Ernst stop by and said how great our parks are. Gave us his business cards and asked if we ever needed help, he'd give us a call. Don't understand also on the comment on hunting on how we just focused on that. We have 4 campgrounds. With that 4 campgrounds, we did a big Dahmer renovation, a Dog Creek South renovation. We did our grain bins. We have cabins that are full every weekend. New playground equipment at Dog Creek, Dahmer, and Mill Creek. Fishing docks, jetties, canoes, and cabs for programming. We also have recreational trails, which are great for Bryan County. On the hunting aspect, we do have our Proudly Youth area, which is great for Bryan County. Yes, it is hunting related, but we are a conservation and that is our goal, right? People enjoy the outdoors. But a great place to get involved. We've got our archery range out there, ponds, waterfowl, deer, pheasants, dove. Hunting numbers are dropping in Iowa. This is because of the busy public grounds and people not being able to afford it. This makes hunting more affordable and can get youth more involved in the outdoors, which is our main goal.
Thank you.
Well, I'm definitely not going to speak as well as those guys, that's for sure. I just want to start going into some definitions of certain things here. So, it is my feeling you guys have made this a hostile work environment for us. By your behaviors, actions, communications with newspapers directly. It also seems very, that it's discriminatory towards us as well. That could lead to race, age, color, and things of that nature, but it also includes harassment and retaliation. The person you appointed has made it very verbal to a lot of people that we know, and we have gotten phone calls that he intends to dismantle county conservation and starting with its employees. And I'm pretty sure that you guys have heard that. You can't deny that. I'm almost certain of that. Reasons why I believe this has become a hostile work environment is employees here experience physical body reactions such as throwing up, anxiety, and not wanting to participate in work. Motivation, morale is pretty low based off your guys' actions, in my opinion. The county supervisors working local with the local newspaper, and everything seems to be worded one way against county conservation, in which I feel is very closely tied to harassment. It has come to my knowledge that walking meetings have been warned with this group of people. Multiple walking meetings, including the one where you left your Zoom meeting button on and proceeded to talk to the local newspaper about conservation 20 minutes after the meeting is adjourned. As an employee, I feel that Mr. Coons has a conflict of interest with county conservation. With my interaction with one of his good friends who is here currently, made it known that he still has stacks of, lost my place here, sorry. As I said, I'm not going to speak as well as them, they're very good, but stacks of lawyer information still sitting on his desk and everything, so if it's something that he's truly forgot, why would you still hold those? And I know there's multiple issues that we've had with Mr. Coons, and just to clear the air, since everything is one-sided, there was a verbal agreement between us on that easement on our property. It's been broken several times, and he was informed that he was breaking it. Our actions were taken by the county attorney, not through us. It was not our decision. We made sure we went through the county attorney to make sure we were doing things right. Whether it was attaching the fence to our fence, the 10-foot fence that is an eyesore for everybody. I know in his paper and his statement of review, he commented on the beauty, but when you can only see half the beauty, I feel that's hard to comment on. And yet he continued to break the easement, so that's when we turned to our county attorney to assess what to do. That's when he informed us to change the lock on the gate, which he had access to at any time. And he told us to inform his lawyers to give him a 24-hour notice for his farming easement, so that it was used for farming purposes only, like his intentions were. On several occasions, we've had several people that have hunted there notify us, obviously way too late, on some aspects of what their hunts have been interrupted or compromised due to some of the actions of the people that take part in Coons' property. Due to this, our patrons feel that it is not safe or that their hunts would continue to be interrupted on this public land, which has diminished the use of this public land, which is very unfortunate. Everybody, I think, here obviously understands the beauty and how nice of a property that really is. Over this Yeah, I mean, he stated many times as far as, yeah, his family, his friends, and even people that he goes to church with about his intentions with county conservation. And yeah, we have multiple witnesses. Like I said, several are sitting here today. As late as even April of this year. And the new thing that I've heard that he has holding a grudge over our head has to do with purchasing the land he has just bought. Last time I checked, no one forced him to write the check. No one told him he had to buy that ground. And just so we can clarify, and Dan, you can verify this, what is our rule for buying ground? For Bryan County Conservation, what is your rule for us?
My stance?
Yep.
My stance is I will not support any more land acquisition.
Yep.
I've said it
And
for
we-
8-9 years.
Yep, and I think we felt true to that, have we not?
We have, it was tried. I mean, there was an attempt to purchase ground.
Where at?
By who?
Yeah.
The Bidler property, there was.
Yeah,
bids
who
on-
was there? Was the O'Brien
Yeah.
Conservation Board there bidding? No.
I don't know, all I know.
No.
Okay.
Do you know? I'm asking. I'm asking you, who from O'Brien County Conservation was there?
Who was bidding on the property? Was it the Conservancy? I don't know.
Okay, so,
I understand this. Okay.
So then,
That's
you're
just
telling
the
us we
point.
broke the trust of you, but yet we weren't there. I don't have control of that agency, do you?
Nope.
Do you have control of what the Iowa DNR does?
No, I do not. DNR is a whole separate deal.
Absolutely. It's just like Nature Conservancy, is it not?
Okay, all right.
Is it not?
I'll agree to agree with you.
All right. So I will go to bat that no O'Brien County Conservation Board member was there, no representatives of O'Brien County Conservation Board was there.
Okay?
Nature Conservancy seeked it out their own, just as well as Iowa DNR does.
Okay?
It's not very often that we have rough ground that comes up, and to top that off, they only have a price point they can reach. It is current appraised value for that ground.
Okay?
They can't go above it. That's the law, that's how it works.
Okay?
So if he wishes to purchase beyond that point, that's not on us, that's not against any of those entities either.
Okay, at that time, during the sale, I saw a board member saying, oh, we had the bid, we don't have the bid. We had the bid, we don't have the bid. That's all I know.
I
So
don't
that
know the board
makes-
member that was there, I guess.
No, Worth wasn't there.
Oh, wasn't there?
No, was following it online.
And you were watching them follow, I mean, so they were putting in bids?
Dan, he said no.
Andy, I was at the auction.
Okay,
so
you're not a board member.
No, I'm not.
Okay,
you employed by us?
I'm not.
okay.
I was a bystander. If you want to know what I saw and heard, I'll tell it. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I talked to Terry before the auction. He fully intended to have it, buy that ground.
But
He was working with the Conservancy. They were there bidding on the ground. Afterwards, I talked to Terry that day before the auction. I said, well, good luck.
yeah.
You know, I've heard a lot of things, Dave, in the last 4 months that aren't true, and they've told me that I needed stuff written down or proof of it. So if you can't have any proof of it, other than a conversation that may or may not have happened, if you don't write it down, it doesn't happen.
As far as I'm aware.
We've learned that very quickly. You have to write everything down, because obviously our words don't mean anything.
Okay.
So again, we are different agencies. We try to work together the best we can, but I cannot, Shimmer cannot dictate what piece of ground they decide to do. That is beyond us. Some things that were concerning about some members here is after one of our board meetings, Denny Vanderhall made it very, very public to all of us that he thinks the Des Moines Water Work project is a joke because it's not going to benefit him. It supplies drinking water to over 500,000 residents of Iowa. It costs the Des Moines Water Works project over $80 million to clean out the nitrates in that water. I feel that it's not in our best interest to talk like that and let people know. I really don't. Especially when you're talking about affecting family and friends, I'm sure we all have in Des Moines. Reasons a lot of things seem to be a conflict of interest here is just for the plain fact that when I talked to Dan, he made it very verbally clear that he's not in this for his personal gain, but in our conversation, no, I didn't bring anything to that up, so that made me question, is somebody on here for personal gain? Is there a board member that is getting personal gain out of this?
In our conversation,
Yes,
you said I had a conflict of interest.
yeah,
If there's a conflict of interest, that means I am getting some personal gain out of something, a decision I make. That's conflict of interest.
okay,
There is no conflict of interest. Okay?
okay,
I don't know how you could think there would be. What am I to gain?
yeah.
What am I to gain? Financial,
I don't know what, I mean.
land acquisition on my part?
I mean,
None, zero.
and, well, a lack of county conservation, which, I mean, your role has been pretty strong against us.
My role has been strong against land acquisition.
County conservation.
County conservation, land acquisition. That's the only thing I have ever publicly stated I am against. I have said it for 8, 9 years now.
And to follow up with Zane, I mean, these hundreds of complaints is another thing that, I mean, we're all just puzzled by. Sherry, you were put on the spot on that. Have you been given these hundreds of complaints by them?
No.
Okay. Just to make that clear, as I say, if it is going one way, I mean, yeah, we should address that just like Zane stated. I mean, it'd be awful handy for all of us to know what these hundreds of complaints are turning out to be. And I think to back even more about how you guys are disliking county conservation, and is how you cut our budget and asked us that we have to earn our employee back, but yet there's no verbal communications on how to earn that person back. I guess I don't understand. I'm confused on that. And you've put that workload on us and our families. We all have young families. I feel like we're pretty strong in our community at Sutherland. My family is. My kids are part of T-ball. I help coach the T-ball. I'm a trustee in the church. My wife's the secretary of the church. Not only do we participate in activities in our church, but other churches in the community. And I feel like that's going to be a hard thing to really replace. But where we're sitting right now, there's a good chance you might be looking for someone to replace that. So,
May I ask a question?
absolutely,
And this is of all conservation employees.
absolutely.
Have I ever, to your knowledge, disrespected, made comments, singled one person out
No, it's the
with any
entity.
comments? Have I made public comments anti-conservation that they do a horrible job? Has anybody ever heard me say that?
Nope,
I want to know that.
I haven't said that, but your votes speak loudly.
Okay. My
That's
vote's
fair
good.
enough.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
As I commented
You never
long
said
before any of this started, that we have two things when I've never sought any employee, past or present, out to discuss anything with.
Have you discussed any of us with anyone else?
I have listened. I have listened a lot. When it's unsubstantiated and I wasn't there, absolutely not. I have not went on with any comments, with any thing that was brought to my attention because I wasn't there. Okay? Because I wasn't there. So, in other words, I have not disrespected anyone, singled anyone out, not by any means, and I won't do that. And I was informed that I had made it personal. I really don't know how. I have made it personal. I was in the back pocket of the new appointee, whom I didn't even know. I had to see and got introductions. I met him, talked to him twice. Once in person after the one conservation meeting I went to, and the next time was the last Monday night, a week ago Monday, when I asked him 4 simple questions, as I did the other person that I thought was good for the board. And based on those answers, that's the decision I made.
No matter the echo across the county.
I hadn't gotten any echo across the county prior to that.
Okay.
I based it on 4 simple questions I asked.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Okay.
I wasn't in his pocket as you so accused me of.
And say you're in his pocket.
That was your words, that, on that phone call Wednesday morning. So, I have no disrespect for any employee of O'Brien County Conservation, by any means.
Okay.
I have not disrespected.
It's just the energy and all, basically, what you're saying.
Everybody talks about not being personal. Believe me, it's personal.
Okay? Okay? We will agree to disagree on that, because I don't think it has been.
Okay.
Okay?
And then, yeah, I don't know what else to do, but
I do personally believe you will see, not from us, but from somebody else, that it is personal. And that's not a threat, I'm just saying, when each one of us is fired, I will guarantee you'll see that it is personal. Because it is made very clear that we are all going to be taken down and they are not going to stop until we are all gone.
Okay. I will inform you, I have never heard that.
Well,
Never heard
there's
that.
a lot of people around the community that have
Okay. I never have heard
No,
that.
I will say I've never heard him, I have never heard the new person on that board say that.
You said that to Amber.
Yeah, pretty
In our office.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the improvement conversation. You said that to Amber in our offices.
Yep, well,
You said that she's going to be the next director.
Is that somebody me?
Okay.
You said it later, that
Never mind, you guys.
Well, you know,
Needs to get back in line. This needs to stop.
Okay.
May I say something?
Go ahead, Patty.
Okay. I'm speaking for the horse people and the people that wanted to open up the area to other things. The Hannibal area, which that's what we came for, that's still our mission. As I sit here and look, last September was the infamous meeting where you guys came, full uniform guns, blah, 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 blah. Here you are today, full uniform guns.
That is their position.
So, so what?
I don't know.
So by saying that, you're going against
I'll
what
be
they...
done.
No, I'm not.
Enough's enough.
I'm saying it's just a little intimidating. Okay,
We're done.
We're sick of it.
leave that out. Scratch that.
It's too late.
No, I won't say anything about that.
As chair of the board, we gotta kind of bring this back together. I'm willing to let everybody kind of speak, but if one at a time. So if we do some sort of raise
All
your
right.
hand and get called upon, and then you speak.
Okay.
Patty, do you have
Okay.
anything to finish, Craig?
Yeah, forget that then. I mean, okay.
It's not forgettable. It isn't.
Sorry.
That's
Well-
their position.
Okay, with that meeting, well, anyway, that's been gone over and over. Okay, so the horse thing, okay, it was mentioned, you worked hard, you gave it to us, we appreciate it. It opened last Monday. You don't think we appreciate it?
No,
Why?
That's
because,
not what you want.
No, we want Hannibal.
right, and I've done everything I could to make it happen for you, but you go fight the DNR.
I know, and we're doing the waiver. Okay, back to the horse thing. All I want to say is yes, it's a half-a-mile trail. Okay, but we appreciate the work. We're gonna ride there. Now you say, okay, we opened it up, nobody's been there. All right, it opened last Monday. Monday, I texted Dave, these guys, I said, hey, maybe we should go check out the trail up there and pick up sticks and stuff. And Dave said, sure, you know. It started to mist. Tuesday it missed, Wednesday it rained, Thursday it rained, and we can't ride there 24 hours afterwards. Last week was a bust.
What about the weekend? 85 degrees and sunny.
This past weekend,
Correct. Yeah.
have other
But it-
I had graduation demonstrations all weekend.
But this is so important that it's gonna bring
Okay.
all these people, yet no one has shown up. Correct?
They will. I am proposing to
Don't hold
my,
your breath.
I am proposing to my group to go ride there tomorrow afternoon.
I hope you do.
At the cost of how many jobs and how many families affected?
Guys, we're gonna do one at a time, so if you wanna speak, you have to raise your hand.
So I'm proposing, I'm gonna talk to my group, because we're here today and it doesn't work, to go tomorrow afternoon. I'm busy in the morning, let's go tomorrow afternoon. Thursday it's supposed to rain, so that leaves out Friday. I mean, it's not that we can ride every day, we have lives. We can't go somewhere
Good
every
point.
day and
Good
ride.
point, we all have lives.
Yeah, we all have lives.
But we plan on going there tomorrow. We will not be there 5 times a week. You have to realize that.
We do realize that, but.
But it
what we
was
were
just
told-
open last Monday. The whole last week, we were planning on riding. It rained, it misted.
But what we were told,
So we will ride tomorrow afternoon.
it needs to be done this time because it's gonna bring hundreds and hundreds of people.
Oh,
to
no,
Scotty.
we never said that. It won't because it's only a half-a-mile trail.
You,
But I'm hoping people come and ride. I think the Hannibal area, if we get that opened up, I think more people will come because you've got the Prairie Heritage Center right there. And it's a beautiful, you've got the cemetery, you've got everything there. We appreciate what you've done. And we've got this area to ride in now. It's step 1. Step 2, we still would like to get the Hannibal, you keep shaking your head.
I'm saying, I agree it's step 1. I agree it's step 1. But when the DNR gets 80% of their money for that kind of stuff from the federal government, do you think they're actually going to give you what you want?
There's we're trying, we're going the lead, you know, we sent in our waiver, we're trying. But in the meantime, we've got step 1.
Okay.
We've got the McCormick, and we're happy about that. We plan on riding there tomorrow. I don't know if
happy about that.
I don't know if we'll get there, you know, but we're happy about that. However, people that do not trail ride don't understand the effort that goes into it. The getting the horses ready, the saddle, to get the trailer, get the hooked up, load the horses, you know? And it's just that we like to ride there. We will ride there. You know, it's just not what our original goal was, and we did not know all the restrictions to the Hannibal when we started out.
And neither did I.
And so we found out, so okay, what can we do next? All right, we'll send in the waiver. In the meantime, we can ride at Hannibal or at McCormick, you know? And agree, yeah, it's a small area, but, you know, and it's road riding, which I can, you know, do at home, but we're happy to have it. It's step 1.
It was a good first step.
It is, it's a very good, and we appreciate all your help on it. We do.
Mrs. Schimmer, right? Or
Bolges.
Bolton, sorry.
Why,
You had something to say?
if there are things appreciated, why is that never put out there? This is the bad things that are put in the newspaper. Nothing about all the good things that the conservation board is.
We have no control over what they print.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, finally.
Yeah, there was a very nice article she wrote about the McCormick area. Excellent
I'm saying
article.
from people like,
Excellent article.
when you interview people about this, and their comments about stuff, that's only when it's bad stuff. The good comments from other people don't get in there. Or why
Well,
isn't that?
We don't write the newspaper articles.
True.
Well, then-
True.
can I address this?
Okay, real quick.
I'm gonna address this law enforcement hatred that you guys have, okay? Why does it
We have
matter?
law
Hold on, no,
enforcement
it's my turn to talk. Why do you have such a hatred towards us being in uniform? Don't say you don't, because it's been brought up every freaking meeting, okay? It has.
It's just
It's
intimidation.
You're
Why?
attitude right now.
Do you-
And I don't
do you know
think you
me?
need to have
Hold
a
on.
gun on your side when you come to
Do you know me?
Outcomes in, have you intimidated?
Hold on, time out. Do you know me? Do you know me at all? I don't know you, and I would take a bullet for you in a heartbeat, because I feel as strongly about law enforcement and protecting the community. And for you to say that I'm intimidating because I'm in uniform, are you kidding me?
Well,
Are you absolutely kidding me?
a sheriff before this.
What, can you answer the
He
question? What was your
chose to come
purpose at that meeting?
And then he said, "Nah."
I
I can tell you what my purpose was. I was just started and I was supposed to be the conservation board. And I, as a professional, wanted to be in
So you
uniform
were
to
asked by
look.
Terry Maltese to be there.
Okay,
Well, we were
Kathy,
actually gonna go to Crosby's and have a night out there.
Okay.
But since this
We've
force
asked
stuff happened,
why
we had
you
to
were
go
there
there.
in uniform and never gotten an answer.
So what?
Why do you answer for
Carry a gun when
Guys.
you want to go?
moving on. Kathy, I saw your hand raised.
Okay, as not a director, but a member of the Conservation Board, and the person probably in this room who's been on the Conservation Board for many, many years, we have accomplished wonderful projects, and it was addressed in just one of the ranger said too. Prior to last year, at this time, there were no complaints, nothing was going on until we had the resignation of our naturalist. At that point in time, from then on, it has been nothing but this type of thing going on. Now, I have to speak to, I'm trying to think about 2003, so I've been on there quite a long time. And when I became was applying for this position as a board member, it was not just this, whatever process you were doing this time now, and I don't know when it changed, but Barb was on there at that point in time, is that the process was that I had to make an application, and I came in for an interview in front of the board, and then they decided at that point in time whether they were going to appoint me or not. Now, whatever happened along the way, why the process changed, I don't know. But it would have been probably behooving of everybody last week if somebody would have been, or the candidates would have been here to explain why they wanted to be on the board rather than listening to some other people talk about why they wanted to or whom they talked to. And second of all, I want to say we have nothing but praise for the people that work on the conservation staff. They have, over the years, they said Dog Creek, we've done the Dama, we've had a lot of other projects. But up until this point in time, I never got emails that were, let's see, I won't describe them, but anyway, emails concerning what was going on in terms of the Conservation Board. So I just want to say that I do and have appreciated what the conservation staff has done over these years. I think people need to take a good look at what has been done and what is happening now and why it's happening now, because it didn't until that point in time when things happened. Last September, all of a sudden, there was an interest in horses. We didn't heard about horses forever when I was on the board. Then we've got the trails, which I think is great. We need to move on with different kinds of things, but the way it was done, it was, yeah. So anyway, that's my point of view, and as a person that's sitting in this room and has been on that conservation board for that number of years, I have nothing but high praise for what they did, and I hope that you will consider what has been done and not move on to continue this kind of bickering that's going on. So, thank you.
I think I saw Randy next.
I was not at the September meeting, but I've been at every meeting after that. And I've seen these rangers come in, sometimes in uniform, but never with a gun on their side. Never once. A lot of times not even in uniform. They have been at this meeting. So I will attest that there was something going on in September and it changed after that. And that you cannot deny, because you guys have not had your guns on you then.
How do you know if they do?
Yeah.
They could be inside waistband carry.
I've seen a lot of carry.
Well, I'm just saying. are you
They're
an
not
expert?
wearing them out in the meetings, where they did before.
Whether they wear them at the meetings or not, shouldn't matter. They're certified peace officers in the state of Iowa, can carry them wherever they want.
I'm just saying, you guys are all mad at these people for saying something about it, but you haven't done it since. So,
Wait.
that was my point.
Okay.
Clyde?
I'm gonna talk to you in a few minutes, I'm not gonna.
And I do know you're saying,
Mad at,
I've known you for a lot of years.
Okay, I hope you do.
Uh,
And we know what's going on.
we got a cloud speak.
So I grew up in Peterson, I hunted that place many times, I'm an avid hunter, shot 2 times this spring, I hunt a lot. I've taken young kids, my Wall Street kids outside, and took most of the first year there. It's a great place, I love to hunt. Also like to ride horse. Well, I have grandkids. I just think the land, the Hannibal now, could be used for, I like to hunt, I'm not saying stop hunting at all. I'm saying in the off-season, I know that the wildlife thing, the habitat center thing that's up there, but we ride over at Bertram in Peterson, Iowa, and it's got the sign that says wildlife habitat stamp about this land. So that's a Des Moines thing. That's an art thing. That's a Des Moines thing. So I'm just saying to you that we can both use that land for riding, for kids, for everything else, and during the hunting season, strictly hunting. I think there's got to be a compromise here somewhere, and we all got to quit yelling at each other. And I don't want anybody losing their job, that they choose to quit, that's their business. But I just want to ride horse on that property if possible. End of story.
They're feeling forced to quit right now.
Well, I'm
That's the thing.
not to me.
And that's affecting all of us.
I
How
understand
can one
that.
man force these people all to quit? You got one man got put on board, one man.
There's more than one
More
person.
than that going on.
Joke.
There's more than one person.
You got one new board member, the rest are.
Why not let it play?
Go ahead.
Don't just quit.
I just have a question.
Oh, sorry, okay, go ahead.
Just a question.
It's so
Is
hostile.
the gun, is wearing a gun part of your concert, is legal, I assume, and it's part of your uniform, right? Okay, I just was wondering. And the other question is it seriously only 4 questions you need to ask one person you don't know to be appointed on a board of supervisors? That would just blow my mind if that is the case.
Do you want to, if I can recall correctly, the 4 questions I asked, and this was, I just took it upon myself to do that, okay? 4 questions were, what are the reasons you would like to be a conservation board member? Number 2 was, what previous experience do you have that you feel would make you a good board member? 3rd was, I'm going to struggle, I don't have it in front of me. I know the last one was, what things would you like to see in the future for conservation? And there was another one, very general like that. Those are questions I have.
I think it's easier to maybe to get on the board of supervisors than it would be to get a $100 scholarship to go on to college. I just think it would be a process of where you would sit together as a board and you know, you get to know the person, you know their character, you know if they have integrity or not just for, of course they're going to say whatever they think you want to hear. I just think it would be a bigger process than what it really was.
Especially if it's predetermined who's going to be on that.
Well, other people should be involved, but we'll take it heavier.
Yes, sir. You had your name?
I was at that September meeting. I thought you all looked nice in their dress uniform. And as far as wearing a gun, when I went to the supervisors meeting to discuss an addition to a fence on the Hannibal, Alan Shutnick was sitting there with a gun on. I didn't feel intimidated. I mean, I guess that's one of the things why that was such a big deal. Anyway, moving on. That day of that meeting, Tom Coons called me and talked to me for an hour while I was trucking. And he said that was his goal, was to get rid of county conservation and the board because Terry Bolshe's handpicked them all. And he went on to say, the horses is fine, and then maybe we can get 4-wheelers out there because there's old people that can't ride a horse, they can't walk that far. And that night at that meeting, he called me a liar, said he never said it. Well, I'm saying it again today, and I'll keep saying it. I really feel Tom Coons was not the right man for the job, for the Board of Conservation. That's all I got to say.
I also like to speak. Raise your hand.
I happened, not unintentionally, I ran into, and I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I ran into Rachel last night at a softball practice. And again, this is secondhand, so it's not written down, but I think once he's appointed, it's a done deal. I don't think there's any legal way to take away the appointment. And again, I apologize if I'm overstepping here, but that's what, I didn't go sort her out, I was on the ball game, whatever.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does anybody think I take enjoyment in this? Does anybody here here think I take enjoyment in this? Anybody? Does anybody think I'm enjoying this? If you didn't say-
What's the point now?
But if you
All it
didn't
is
say.
a continual fight. What's the point? It doesn't matter if you enjoy it or not.
We're never gonna come out on top.
Yeah. So, Sherry, you have my resignation. I'll be gone as well. I'm sick of it.
Sorry if you got any in the back, do you basically?
He asked me if I had enjoyment. I think he's getting great enjoyment out of this.
You think I am? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I appreciate your honesty.
I'm straight honest all the time, you know that.
I know that.
I think it's just terrible that my husband has been driven out of this position. He tries his best, he's not immoral, he is a man of good character, he has tried to accommodate everybody, and yet he feels so betrayed by this appointment. This man hates him, he hates everybody on county conservation, and it's just terrible that he has to be on the board and hates them. What board would hire or have somebody that absolutely hates them? I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me. And my poor husband has to resign because of this. Same thing happened.
Well, I don't have to.
Yeah,
I don't
and now
have to resign.
you're gonna have
but I
other
feel-
people resigning and quitting their jobs. It's just lovely what you
Quit the
guys have done.
Quit the dream job.
He would work with anybody.
Well,
Did he not say
get
last
serious.
meeting he would work with anybody? He sat right in this meeting and said it, didn't he?
Brian?
Yeah.
You would try.
He tried, but he can't work with this man. He hates him. Why would you want to work with somebody who hates you? Who wants to get rid of you?
I've worked with Tom a lot. He is easy to work with, he can work in a positive direction. And he has never said to me he wants to clean house. He has never said to me that he wants to clean house. What he wants is to move this county forward, Conservation Board, for the whole county, not just certain groups.
Yeah, they've done a terrible job, haven't they? These county conservation men have done a terrible job.
I was there with Tom through this whole deal. So and Tom does not want to go back to that. He wants to move forward. I know Tom well enough.
He hates these people, so he's gonna move forward to get rid of them all. Yeah.
Well, that's what you heard. I talk to him on a regular basis. I have worked with him on many projects. He is trying to work the county forward. He does that on every project I ever worked with him on, to make it better for everybody,
So this guy's.
as a whole.
Okay.
If you don't want to go forward, fine, resign, do whatever.
That's what
That's
it
what
is.
you guys
That's
want.
what it is.
You're resigning.
Good luck to you.
You resign.
You guys get what you want.
Okay,
I
there's
made
a
a
gentleman
choice.
in the back that would like to speak.
So moving forward, does that mean driving all these young people out of their jobs?
If
Their
they
kids?
don't want to move forward, yes.
Oh, my.
Move, are you kidding me?
Move forward to what?
And besides that, with the county supervisors, all right, you guys have hit the conservation. What's next? The road division? What's next after that? You're driving people out of this county doing crap like this. You guys need to grow some and put your foot down and say enough of this crap and take care of stuff.
We're not the ones resigning. Understand?
No, you're sorry. And if I hear another rumor about anybody in my family, we're gonna have a bad situation.
I have not talked about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
about he didn't get hired on by O'Brien.
I have a recording for you if you really want to hear it.
Is it Carrie?
Yep.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay, they all feel like they have targets on their backs, as they have said. So they're feeling like their only option is to resign at this stage. Not because they want to, they actually love their jobs. I know for a fact that Zane was on duty this last week. There was another benefit dinner thing that we were at, and he's like, nope, I can't stay, I gotta go do the park stuff. And they're like, why? With all this stuff going on, who cares? And that pertains to the character that he has. It didn't matter what was going on or who has a target on him, he still went and did his job, and he went and did his job well. And that goes for all of them on this county conservation board. Every single one of them sitting there, including Amber and Abby, they all do a fantastic job with everything. If they all resign, who's gonna run your parks this weekend? If they all quit today, those parks are closing. Who's gonna run them? They're kicking all the campers out. What happens then? Have you thought about this? How are we moving forward from that? What do we need to do to make this better? Instead of people losing their jobs on this, how can we make this better? Are you the new guy? I don't know who's who, but I don't know. Who's the new guy? Anyways, what can we do to make this better? That's what it comes down to. Instead of pissing all about the whole thing over and over and over again, the same situations, the horses, the this, the that, the whoop, let it all go. What do we need to do to move forwards?
Nobody's gonna be willing to move forward because everybody wants their job.
They're all stuck. We're all stuck. We're like kindergartners or a child in a candy store whining about wanting a piece of candy until finally the mother gives in and says, buy the damn candy so we can get out of here. They're all leaving so that you guys can put in whoever you want and hopefully it's better. But you know how much that there has to be learned by new people coming in? There is a lot that has to be learned. There's a lot that goes on in every single one of these parks. The nature center and all of them. If you lose all of them, you lose all of that knowledge. All of it. You think any other county is going to touch and help this county right now? They have talked to other counties and no one wants to touch this county with a 10-foot pole right now. So get your crap in a group and figure this out and work together, not against each other. That's all I have to say. Work together. Move forwards together. Find solid ground. Quit crying over spilled milk. To refer to a child again. Come on. We're all adults.
Patty again, Craig? I don't have anything against the Rangers, I just wanted to reinforce.
And I love that. I'm glad you fought for what you wanted.
I did. I mean, I don't.
To make that happen.
So let's be happy with what we have.
And I went out and walked the McCormick area with Ryan. We had a good time, marked trails. I have nothing but respect for these guys. I just want them to take a moment and really think about, what they're doing. Okay, I hear the comments about Tom. He is 1/5 of the board.
So far.
We got
Who's gonna be brought on next?
Yeah.
Hand pick.
members that are up, and it's been comments made that you wish that he's not on there.
Term is up. Who knows whether he'll stay, he wants to stay on, whatever. And I just feel like you've given up too soon. I feel that the board needs to go ahead and work with him. And as far as saying Tom has hatred for people, that's a strong word. I just can't believe that the father of a disabled daughter would.
It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Compassion. He would never say he's told that hatred.
He's told other people.
No.
Yes.
Just end it, we're done.
I guess I just wanted to say that as an employer myself, it's very, very hard to find dedicated, good employees. And I think right now the Conservation Board has some very good employees. I feel like that maybe y'all ought to step back and think about where you're going to find good dedicated employees.
Especially
They
right
want
now.
to do their job, and right now they are working very hard because the parks are open. And if there's this strong of a feeling about, not feeling either appreciated or even people wanting them to work there, that's going to be hard for them to continue. And it's very, very hard to find good, dedicated people. I'm not understanding from listening what the purpose of the board is, or how these things get sorted out. But I would just say that it's very, very difficult to find good people, and these people seem very dedicated to their work.
Wouldn't be here otherwise.
So we're gonna end this meeting for right now. I appreciate for everybody for coming. I think everybody got a chance to speak to his piece to some degree.
I would like 1 second.
Okay, go on.
I also get to sit on the conservation board as well as sit here, which has been a benefit in my opinion, because then I get to see behind the scenes for what these guys do as well. And they are incredibly dedicated. And I do get the opposite end of the phone calls. I haven't received complaints. I received a letter early on from you in the mail, I believe back in September. And I received one other letter from another lady. And Denise and I talk
All the time.
all the time. And so we have that conversation. But on the other end, I get the compliments and the praise that comes to me from individuals. So I try to pass that on to Mr. Schimmer, and before that, to Terry. But I think that needs to be recognized as well, that they are incredibly dedicated. All our staff, and especially poor Abby coming into all of this, who is not a part of any drama in any way, and has done a remarkable job, and I think that needs to be noted and appreciated. So. And if you ever are in the campgrounds, I don't know if you guys are campers, my family loves to camp, that's how we take advantage of what the county has to offer for conservation. But watching these guys do their job, and watching little kids run to them. So. You sure you want this?
Yep.
David, I like that.
I have to go too. One quick thing. Terry said one group, and Tom, and it was in the review last week, hunting. That ground is not just for hunting. You can cross-country ski, you can hike, you can do whatever you want out there. You just can't ride a horse.
Or a four-wheeler.
All right,
Or a four-wheeler.
thank you everybody for coming.
Oh, sorry.
Not yet.
That's the one they like.
Wait and see what happens. Because, we're wrong, I'm afraid of Tom Cruise.
Yep.
I like Tom, I think I know what you think he's
Well, it really dictates what happens on the next one. The next one that is gone, people verbally said they want. And
This thing.
yeah, which I understand, completely understand and appreciate that. I have.
And I did have a phone call this weekend.
I'd have to check, because that
I
means
did have a phone call this weekend from an individual.
fantastic.
Who knows Tom well, and said that
But
he does.
see, I got my impression it was, and I'm not saying I've never.
Stat, you know, to the table.
Scott?
Have said stamp product.
How's it going in secondary road? How's it going in secondary road?
Life is good.
Yeah.
Got some
it's
rain,
something we're
got
definitely
dust
referring to.
control.
There was a part of that sign with then a few years ago.
We got a couple of things that didn't get on the agenda.
Right.
Now it's like 20 years.
Hey,
Well, no,
Andy.
it was only about 4
Can
years.
you guys talk about?
Absolutely.
Thank
Don't
you.
jump the gun, don't jump the gun. I'll get it.
That'd be the north end, because we let them do that.
Okay, got that. Oh,
You know, that whole thing.
that whole pole will be done.
Yep.
We'll just. I'll send my bill later.
Have a good day, Claude.
I will.
We have to approve this first before we sign, probably.
Not technically, but we also want to set letting date.
Okay. So this is already good.
Right, we better go ask Mark. Better make sure I get the right letting date, I better talk to Jeff, or Jay.
Trying to remember this bridge.
What do you got?
Well, it's on Polk Avenue, we've got two in question, and then I'll pass it on to you. I can get it signed. That is,
This is a bridge replacement project? Is this a bridge replacement project?
Yes, and we want to set the letting date for July 13th.
oh, I know that bridge. Okay.
Another little truss.
Yeah. Cover three right in the middle of it.
Yeah, them poor guys get nowhere over there. They just go around.
Yeah, they're good at it.
And they're just about done grading that Polk.
Oh, they
Should
are.
finish today on that stretch of Polk.
Yeah, that's up here.
It just makes it more efficient when you don't go through the section, right?
It should just be a lot. We'll see how bad
Yeah,
Dixon,
Shape, there's a hotel there, you can probably utilize.
we'll see how bad Dixon wants the third one. He's got the other two.
Yeah, the other two, yeah.
I think I know.
Will that be for this calendar year yet, this?
We're gonna give them winter work on that.
Gotcha.
So it wouldn't get done till next spring if they decided. They won't have to use the winter work if they, but I think there's other bridges out there now that they'll go after as a winter project.
Sure.
Unless, who knows, if Dixon gets it, maybe we'll just go to town on all three of them, right close.
You're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Never know. Be worth something to on that thing.
No,
Is that what it is?
we all have to sign that, don't we?
Bring it over here next.
When would you like to let me do?
July 13th, if that fits.
10 a.m.?
Yeah.
The salt loader,
Well,
sand loader.
we'll put the old one in, that old cat will be our actual salt loader.
There we go.
It's replacing the salt loader.
Get rid of the mobile.
Yep, mighty Volvo, I think it's got 9,000 hours on it.
Oh, it's just broke in.
Yeah, a lot of salt time.
Yeah.
I don't know, if Osceola, they wanted to trade loaders, I said, how many hours is on it? And they're like 2,800, I don't think so.
My God, is it, I mean, are we okay with the case?
Yeah.
Why after that kind of money?
Are we okay with the case?
It's a 2-year, it's a 2019 model. It's only got 12 hours on it. I mean, they've used it for a couple demos and I thought we should be real good with the case.
And plus what they're giving us.
Yeah, they gave us an extra 5 to cover the old Volvo. So they kind of wanted to do business with us. I think they've been trying to do business with us for a while.
Yeah.
He made mention that their service man just lives in Hartley, because I guess maybe that was part of the reason they went John Deere last time, when he said it went low price.
Did you say July 13th?
July 13th, yeah. It gives us advertising time.
I'm assuming we need a motion to accept the quote for the bucket?
Well, we don't, can we get one that says this flooding?
Yeah, so whatever order you want to go in, I'm good with it.
I'll make a motion to set the bid letting for July 13th at 10 a.m.
Support.
Motion by Sherry, second by John, to set a bid letting for the bridge, July 13, 10 a.m. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Then the second item would be the loader quotes. Case came in at a very nice price. I recommend that we award that.
I'll make a motion to go with Titan Machinery's case 6121G of 2019 model.
Support.
Motion by Dan, second by Dennis to approve the quote for the four-wheel drive loader with bucket from Case. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
And he threw in a quick scratch.
Ooh, yeah, did you sign? That was a good throw.
It had it on there and he said, we'll let you have that. So it was just a nice
It's not a
deal.
cheap piece of equipment either, the
No.
quick catch.
No, yeah. So, it was a nice, very nice price and deal from them. And I also have a resolution to close 430th Street between McKinley and Monroe. That's the gravel that will grade up. We might not. We talked about this morning, maybe we'll just go about our business and catch up on our gravel road blade. We might not be right away, but we'll have it in the bin when we decide to do it.
McKinley and.
Monroe.
What is it?
Yeah, we decided we better get out of the Trimgar area, Archer area, and do a few in.
That's a dirt road, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very.
Get on that dirt
In
road.
fact, there's about 3 miles of dirt road there in a
Yeah, there
very
is.
hurry.
I was on that road,
South of Shelby?
Yeah, it's way down there.
way down here.
Oh, okay.
I will almost guarantee you will have a complaint from a landowner because you will take part of his crop. I've been there.
Well, he's gotten free.
That's what I always say.
Exactly, because they were doing some, I don't remember, they were putting a tile in that dirt road, or a culvert, I believe. And they had it staked out 5 rows into his. And I got a call, I went to look at it, I said, if you look down to that far fence line, that's the actual line, you know, right where these wood stakes.
Some of them have farted so long that they.
Yes, and the road moved a little bit. I know that road.
I move we approve the road closure.
I'll support.
Motion by Dennis, second by Dan to support the road closure on 430 between McKinley and Monroe. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
And we should, they're predicting Wednesday, next Wednesday for pouring the bridge deck up on the one south Hartley. Let's see if they get.
Oh, yeah, I've seen work from there.
DHE bridge.
Getting pretty close to that.
Yeah, for having a short crew for most of the spring, they are getting there, so. Other than that, I don't have much for you.
What did they do with the,
Maybe you had a long day already.
is that fiber optic on
They're gonna move that
B40, they're gonna move it?
on our
Yeah, on the,
380th.
on the widening there, no, on where they have the flags, or they just don't peel the shoulder off, but it's not.
Yeah, they just don't peel all the way back into the shoulder, they're gonna build it out anyway.
Yep,
Yeah, it was the same on this side, actually, it was right there.
yep.
But the 380th, that dirt road we were talking about grading, they thought they'd have that fiber optic moved by the end of June.
Okay.
And then I was talking to telephone, the old AT&T, and I went to this, what is it now, whatever the name is now, but
West Allers.
yeah, I think they thought maybe they'd just abandon that one, they didn't really need it anyway, they're on the other side.
All right.
So I think we're gonna be fine out there, so.
A lot of old boxes are still in.
Yeah, there's so many old boxes
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, and I suppose, I wonder what the traffic is on landlines now compared to
Yeah.
one call a day. And that goes to an answering machine because nobody really picks up their landline anymore. All right, very good, thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
You do the same.
Next, we have fireworks permit from Amy Solzma.
Yes, they want to do a display on, where are you? The 18th of June at 6190 320th Street.
They always do that for sales, I believe, don't they? Yeah.
And it's always quite a show.
Never been.
Oh my
I've seen it
goodness.
from our place already, so.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I will support.
Motion by Dan, second by Sherry to approve the fireworks grant for Amy Sullivan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry. I was really
Opposed? Okay. And correct me, like those, if we approve them, they go to the sheriff's office in case people.
I
call.
sent them a copy.
Okay.
18.
June 18th.
But I always give them the weekend in case it rains, so it'll expire on June 21 at sunset.
What is our rule for regular fireworks? 4th of July, of course, it goes next month and after, does it, or?
Yeah.
I can't remember when it starts and stops for legal fireworks.
Yeah. Sales or shooting off?
Shooting off.
Shooting off, isn't it?
Probably will go through,
I'd have to go back and look, but there is a specific window. It's not just on the 4th.
and then it ends at stupid time because it's not dark yet.
Yeah, it's really, yeah,
Um,
10 o'clock.
Yeah, some of them are like 10:30 or something. Yeah, it's not
And
even
there's a
dark.
window on New Year's Eve as well,
Yes,
which you won't see on your ads often, because it's usually free.
saw them this year.
Oh my word, there were so many.
They were all over the place on New Year's Eve. I heard these booms, I looked for a second, whoa. It's kind of cool, I wasn't ready for that.
All right, the next thing on the agenda, resolution number 2021-27, the resolution for creation of the American Rescue Plan Fund.
Right, this,
Want me to kind of read it?
sure.
Whereas the O'Brien County has been notified it will receive $2,671,359 from the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds to respond to the COVID-19 emergency and bring back jobs. Whereas these are the federal funds to give aid to local governments to help turn the tide on the pandemic, address the economic fallout, and lay the foundation for a strong and equitable recovery. Yeah, basically.
It was 2,675,000.
Yeah, 2,671,359.
Oh, 671. Okay.
We received half of it. I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday.
We did it.
Mhm.
Wow.
So we're gonna, so of course we have to establish this fund to take it in.
Yep.
So,
And we have to spend down that first half to get the second half, correct?
You know, I'm really not sure yet.
Haven't really got a huge amount of.
That's highly possible. But on the other hand, if you have a project that would take the whole thing, that's, how's that work?
It's a good project, a good sized project.
I haven't heard anything really out of ISAC or NACO since they said, get your stuff ready because the money's coming. So,
Deal that they did send on that, and that's the only information that really is in there about it.
yeah, and I took the bullet points that Jared had taken out of some of that for part of the resolution as to what it could be used for. So, but it'll be a special revenue fund, and the interest will stay in the general fund. We talked to the state auditor's office about how they wanted that
Okay.
kept, and that was what they want.
And whatever we do, we just gotta make sure it's sustainable after. And,
When's our spend down date?
Why do I want to say 23?
Can we just let it sit till the last second to get as much interest as possible?
It's so much.
if you plan a big project and it's not finished until then. But yeah.
Those counties that had big projects planned could be put towards some of that if they can apply it the right way.
If it fits categories.
Yeah,
One of the counties was looking at would they be able to use that because they lost quite a bit in local option. We're not really seeing that.
right.
No.
So that's not quite an option.
the state put, over double the money for the housing trust fund, and there's another fund too that as far as small towns and housing and that kind of stuff, so, I think that would probably be enough to cover some of them things.
Yeah, and our problem here is the lack of housing. It's not
Yeah.
affordable housing, we just don't have housing in
Yeah.
general.
Be nice if some of the projects get started again.
Sure would, but
The only problem is supplies and
Yeah.
then make
for
flour.
somebody to go out on a limb to do it,
Oh, right now, building.
And,
a lot of spec housing, this wasn't in O'Brien County, but I heard some in Sioux County that basically stopped it. You have a lot, you have to build on it by such and such date. Give up the lot, you can't, especially spec housing. There's gonna be a point where all of a sudden it turns south a little bit. It's an issue. And at some point you sit on that, and I don't know when that is. I quit predicting. I quit. Well, I've been wrong every single time. Materials.
I move we establish or have the resolution to establish a coronavirus federal fund account.
I'll second that.
Motion by Dennis, second by Dan to approve the resolution for the creation of American Rescue Plan Fund. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
I have one idea, I'll start. This would be easily applicable. It's just a matter of how much room we would need. Sherry had a really good idea with that. Remember when you said,
Yeah, that's helpful.
we had, the mental health, that's one idea, that's one good one. If Shane can see do that. But the other one I thought was really good was, if we could house public health, Veterans Affairs, General Relief, and even, Barb, what's the other one, Department of,
I wasn't listening.
DHS.
Oh,
If we could find the right place to house all those offices, but that takes quite a bit of room. And then that would open up kind of main floor for an attorney.
I have ideas, but I'm not sure the city of Trimcar would.
Yeah,
Especially after rezoning. Yeah, so.
oh, sure.
Building. They'd have to probably rezone something for us.
Okay. I'd love to hear. But there's some ideas like that floating around there. The problem is with the building, I think everybody in our region would have to put equal sum towards that, wouldn't they? Each county?
Yeah,
Or
you'd have to do it per capita,
You'd almost
that'd
have
be the
to.
only way you
That'd
could
be
do
the
it.
only way, because that's where they're getting the
that's the way the fund.
funding
kind of
is for
started
capital
out
too.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
These funds are coming in and everything has been decent per capita. So,
Have anything else for us, Barb?
I do. I have this.
what is this?
This is
That's
the
not nice.
construction application and manure plan for Van Ness Dairy's expansion.
Oh,
I was kind of waiting for Paul over at DNR, but I got a feeling we're gonna have to move on this today because we're not here next week. Van Ness Dairy, it's an existing 4,500 head mature milking dairy cow confinement. They're proposing to expand to 5,428 head of mature dairy cows. It's currently permitted for 1,400 head of immature dairy heifers in a confinement. That what they're proposing to decrease that to 900 head of immature. And then the construction would be a three-stall confinement barn, an earthen manure storage basin, and a digester system, and the necessary manure pumps and such. So this would be in the southwest quarter of 17 of Lincoln. So I'm assuming the same company that did the Rorta one put this plan together, so I'm assuming it'll probably all be in order.
It sounded like it was all that we could see.
Yeah, so, and I do have this piece of it all scanned that I'm gonna send to all of you. If somebody wants a hard copy, let me know. I'm thinking we'll probably have to hold that hearing on June 15th. So we need a motion to set that hearing date for the proposed expansion, and hopefully everything falls into place.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Motion by Dan, second by John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
That is the same quarter they're in now, right? So,
Yeah, I had a call from Van Ness yesterday wanting to know where we were at on it. I said, I'm waiting for DNR. I said, when I try to be proactive, they trip me up, so. But then I remembered we were not here next week, so I thought, okay, we're gonna just have to give this a shot. So, when I hear from them, I'll let you know, and I'm assuming, John, you probably go to that one, and Sherry.
I mean, I can, they are good friends of ours, so I don't know if that'd be considered a conflict of interest.
and I have not been to one in a while, when I should have been.
So, well, we'll just see when the day is.
I've had troubles getting there for, see when it is.
I'll let you know, and we'll just go from there.
I went to the one they did, I don't know, 6 years ago?
You did? I
Yeah,
didn't go
they
to that one.
expanded a little bit.
Yeah,
and-
oh, they put a heifer development, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm just hoping the poor gal that caught the Rorta one doesn't get this one too, because it's a lot. It's a lot to go through.
I mean, if you don't feel like it's a conflict of interest for me, I can obviously go, it's literally 2 miles from the house, so.
I know half of them, I've been on the people.
And
that
okay.
one too, right? It's,
Some degree it's black and white.
it is.
It is.
Either they score or they don't, but.
Because then, I mean, it's very, very easy for me to get there.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you two are close, but if you can't go, I guess let us.
Yeah, let us,
Okay.
absolutely.
They've got a matrix score of 470, so really pretty high.
Yes.
What you think 440 is your minimum.
About as
they
high
really
as
got-
we've seen it, isn't it?
Well, the last one was 445, wasn't it?
That one was higher, the Matthews one was 445.
down.
The dairy over there was real high, wasn't it?
I
456.
don't remember right now, but yeah, so,
And there was points they didn't take, I thought.
right. Well, and that's something people don't understand, that, like this petition that was in the
I
paper,
see that.
that they didn't take points for community. You only take enough points to pass, because once you take those points, you're married to them for the life of that permit.
Sure.
So you only want to, sure you plan to do other things, but it's not smart to take points you don't need to, unlike school.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, all I have.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Sherry, second by John to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
See everyone on the 8th.
Yep.